Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to share a horrifying story with you out of Hialeah, Florida, where police arrested a 13-year-old boy for stabbing his mother to death in her sleep. Police said they received a 911 call shortly before midnight on October 12th of 2023 from a boy who identified himself as 13-year-old Derek Rosa, confessing to police that he had just murdered his mother at the Amelia Oaks apartment complex where they lived. When police arrived on scene, they found Rosa's mother, 39-year-old Irina Garcia, deceased in her bed with multiple stab wounds. And next to her bed, police found a crib holding Irina's 14-day-old baby girl. Her precious newborn did not have any injuries. Thank God. Police took Rosa into custody for his mother's murder, and he's being held at an adult detention center. Listen as an officer describes Rosa's eerily quiet and apologetic demeanor during his arrest after just brutally murdering his mother, just feet from her newborn baby girl.
Cell phone video shows the moment a teenage boy surrendered with his hands up. Just minutes earlier, police say he called 911 and confessed to killing his mother.
His demeanor, he was very quiet, apologetic, very respectful. Not what you would expect walking into that home and seeing that crime scene.
Derek Rosa.
The 13-year-old, identified as Derek Rosa, is currently in secure detention.
We're announcing our intent to pursue the case to a grand jury.
Police say the boy called 911 around 11:30 Thursday night and said he just killed his mother, identified by police as 39-year-old Irina Garcia. When officers arrived to Unit 201 inside the Amelia Oaks apartment complex, they found the victim in her bedroom with multiple stab wounds, just inches from her newborn baby girl.
Next to her was a crib, and inside of that crib, a 14-day-old baby that fortunately was not injured.
Police say Irina's husband, who also lived with them, was out of town at the time of the murder. Looking at this beautiful family photo, I would never have thought her young son would have committed such an evil act against his mother. Just an 8th grader, who was described as an honor student, with so much left to live for. But now, he's being charged with second-degree murder. Police say they confiscated Garcia's cell phone and found that he sent photos of the crime scene to a friend before calling 911. That, coupled with his eerily calm and quiet demeanor after such a violent attack, suggests to me that police may find out that there was more to this story than a 13-year-old who just snapped.
He waited for her to be asleep. He came into the room, he stabbed her to death, and shortly after that, he called the police, confessed to what he did.
They also said he has no criminal history or history of mental health problems, which leaves not only police, but friends and neighbors wondering why.
He was a good kid, honor roll student at school. There's no history of mental health.
Police say the teen is an 8th grader at iMatter Academy. His classmate is stunned.
I'm surprised, I'm shocked, and I'm angry.
No, de eso no sé.
Back in the neighborhood, neighbors are in disbelief. A tragedy, leaving many people wondering why.
I talked to him a good old many times, and I said, love yourself, and he would always say, okay.
But just because Garcia hasn't yet provided a motive for the murder doesn't mean he won't in the future. But I won't be holding my breath. When I read about this tragic case, my mind immediately went back to another tragic case that took place in Tulsa, Oklahoma in January of 2023, when a 12-year-old girl woke her mother up and told her she had just stabbed her 9-year-old brother. Only at the time of her arrest, she was crying hysterically and told police and her mother that she didn't know why she did it. And she was also very apologetic, much like the officer said Garcia was, after brutally stabbing his mother. The video I'm about to show you is of her arrest, where she yells that she's sorry and doesn't know why she did it. But, caution, it is upsetting to watch and disturbing.
Come here, come here.
I'm sorry! Dad, I'm sorry! I don't know what to ask! I'm so sorry, Mom! I'm sorry! Please!
Body camera shows Tulsa police responding after they say this 12-year-old girl stabbed her 9-year-old brother to death.
I'm so sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. It's something I'm so
Unfortunately, her little brother did not survive the attack. Although little has come out about the case since police released the video of her arrest, her heartbroken mother gave an interview saying that she believes the fatal attack was the result of a manic episode, possibly caused by medication her daughter had just stopped taking for ADHD. Then she revealed that she learned her daughter had been having thoughts about stabbing her little brother for weeks before the attack, and she even told a couple of her friends about the thoughts she was having. But her friends never told anybody, so her mother couldn't have been warned that something was terribly wrong.
Recently, the last few months, she has begun to talk about him more and more. She just expresses that she misses him and that she's really sorry over and over again.
But no more window into what the cycle of events were that led to the violence.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, she doesn't have more to say in terms of explaining how it got to that place.
No, all I know is she was having thoughts of stabbing him about 2 weeks prior. She reached out to a few of her friends and told them. And unfortunately, they were maybe afraid to tell the parents or me, but they did not. So I had no idea that she was having those thoughts because she had begun to go to her room for hours. That wasn't normal for her. She would just want her own space the last few weeks. So something was going on with her, but I just took it like it's normal teenage behavior. You know, she's 12. Her menstrual cycle and everything. It's just, it was normal for me because I went through that where I didn't want to be bothered by people when I would spend hours in my room. But I had no idea about the thoughts. Her friends, I guess she did tell 2 of her friends, and they did tell us afterwards. But that's the only warning we pretty much had was from her friends, and unfortunately they didn't say anything.
Even though I understand that these are 2 different cases, they both involve young people, only 12 and 13 years old, committing brutal murders that have left so many baffled as to why. Well, a reporter from Fox 23 News spoke with a child criminologist about the Tulsa case, trying to see if she could get some answers as to why such a young person would commit such a brutal murder. And I'm going to play what he had to say about it for you, and you can decide what you think.
Shay, this is a hard one to stomach. I mean, it was hard for me to wrap my head around a 12-year-old killer. So I went to an expert. And I do feel like the conversation I had does shed some light and give some insight onto how and why this could have happened and what could happen moving forward.
sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I don't know what to ask. I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Please.
Body camera shows Tulsa police responding after they say this 12-year-old girl stabbed her 9-year-old brother to death.
She's going to wake up every day for the rest of her life knowing that she killed her brother.
Dr. Brett Fitzgerald specializes in child criminology. He says someone this age can't really comprehend a killing.
I have a real problem with attaching premeditation to a 12-year-old's mind. Again, the prefrontal cortex is just not developed enough for them to really do that, to formulate a criminal mind.
I really didn't want things to happen like this. This sucks. I'm so sorry. You're probably going to go to jail.
In my opinion, there was genuine remorse.
Is there any possibility here that she could be charged as an adult?
No, that will not happen. Statutes, the Oklahoma statutes are clear. She's not eligible to be charged as an adult at 12.
He says several factors can lead to a tragedy like this. Friend influences, medication, family life, and media, which is why he says the next line stands out.
I'm so sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry. I
demonic is a specific word that 12-year-olds don't just read in their speller at school. It's something that is either expressed to them by a group dynamic or through media.
He says violent media affects children.
There's nothing we can do about it, but you can always learn something from it. We may learn that a little more about social media or violent media.
I'm so sorry. And since this is a child we're talking about, the state can't update us on exactly where this case is, but
I don't necessarily agree with his opinion, but he's the child criminologist. I'm just a true crime YouTuber who's maybe seen too much to believe that just because you're young, you don't understand what committing murder is. So, he's the expert. I'm not. I just thought it'd be interesting to hear what he had to say, considering we have nothing else to go on with these cases so far, other than they are very sorry for what they did. But I would have liked to have heard what he had to say about the fact that she was already thinking about stabbing her brother for weeks prior to the murder. So much so that she even told her friends. But who am I? I always say, I don't know nothing about nothing. And the fact that I was able to make the connection between her telling her friends that she wanted to stab her brother and Garcia sharing photos with his friend after he murdered his mother shouldn't make you believe anything otherwise. Even though I already know, you made the connection too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be keeping the victims of these horrific crimes in my prayers, especially Irina Garcia's precious little baby girl, who will never have the honor of knowing her beautiful mother. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.